Record. There's not a problem with that device. It is recording. Okay, cool. So, what were you talking about being shady?
You being shady.
Me being shady?
Yeah, you were like, some people just use their phone. No thanks. I'm like, okay, because I have a microphone and video cameras here at Nehemiah.
No, some people have literally only done podcasts with their phone.
Some people,
I don't know who. I don't.
you know exactly me. That's why I was like, damn.
No, I literally had no idea. Oh, wait. This is perfect opportunity. I got this little phone stand, right? So I can have my phone available, like right in hand. Oh, dude, this is perfect, actually. So I can put that right there. Now I'm hands free. Talk. Or not. You can stay quiet if you want.
Oh, you're hands free? There was something I was just actually about to say. It was past the shady thing.
I have no idea. What was
Yeah.
it?
It was something about because I was thinking in my head, I can't wait to be able to switch to my old phone because I had something on there. I still have like little kind of not documentaries, but like recordings of like what I was going through and like because I listened to my podcast the other day and it was so funny. I was talking about I don't know if you remember the day that me and you and Bryant went to um
The cemetery?
no the Silver Pyramid. I
Oh,
think we went to
yeah.
the cemetery that day too. Actually, we did because we went
Uh
to the
huh.
cemetery on the way back home.
Yep.
And I was just talking about how it was so exciting to like actually hang out with you guys again. And you were like, "Hey, do you want to go to the Silver Pyramid?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go. Come on, right now." And you were like, "Wait, we gotta wait for Brian." And I'm like, "Well, fuck. What am I gonna do?"
Yeah, I guess you decided to go along anyways. Wait, were you using at that point?
No, not on the. I mean, I had been using at that point. Couldn't y'all tell by my weight, dude? I dropped down to 190.
Damn. What are you at now?
I'm at two, like fluctuating from 215 to 220.
Holy shit.
But I was up at like 220, and I told myself just stop when you get to 210 because everyone's gonna know. And then I'm like, I dropped down to 190, and I was like, fuck. And when I went back to work after having like the horrible days, like everybody looked at me crazy. And one girl brought it up. She's like, "Damn, you lost a lot of weight. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "It's just
Oh.
pre-workout. I'm fasting."
Dude, so whenever we decided to get your mail to you and uh Robert brought it and then I showed up that day too after running over that parking spot. um and you told me it was pre-workout. I was like, "Oh, okay, nothing abnormal." And then Jeff asked what it was in the package. He was like, he get his medication. I was like, "No, it wasn't medication." He's like, "What was it?" I was like, "Pre-workout." And he was like, "Oh, that was a huge red flag." I was like, "What?"
No, it's not.
He said, oh, he said because of your drug of choice, it was a red flag.
It was my cover up.
It what
Pre
the whole
workout, the only reason I started buying pre workout was because, okay, so I narrowed it down. If you remember when me and Valentine, well, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but me and Valentine had that huge fight on December 13th. That
uh-huh
was Taylor Swift's birthday.
uh-huh
And the last day I used was January 13th. So in that month period, I started drinking I started using drugs. I had been to jail. I started like it all happened that fast.
Holy cow. I didn't know it escalated that quick. I've heard of how fast the snowball goes, but
Because it started off like so when they asked me to start helping out night shift, I was like okay. And after like the third time, I realized by the time I got home, everyone was asleep. Well, I had already been depressed and sad by that time. So like the fourth time I worked night shift, I was like, you know what? Let me buy a fucking drink from downtown and just drink it on the
uh
way home, and that didn't work because like I liked how it made me sad. And so I went right back into the gas station and bought like four more and like chugged them. And like on the third day of doing that, that's whenever like I came out to my coworkers. I'm like, guys, like I have to tell y'all, like I'm getting fucked up like after work.
oh
And
shit.
they're like, why aren't you like they were worried because they knew that I was living in an Oxford house, and they're like, "Isn't that against your rules?" I'm like, "Yes, the fuck, it's against my rules. Like, I could get kicked out,
Mhm.
and then I disappear, and I was so, oh my god, I'm missing a whole period out of here." So
Oh
there was
god.
one day I got too fucked up. I went to my job. Somebody took me to the house. I don't know if you guys ever knew that. I was crazy fucking drunk, and they dropped me off at the house, and somehow I managed to go inside, change clothes, leave, go downtown, and I'm like crying on the phone to this dude I had just met on Grinder, and like he ended up taking me. I woke up at his house because he lived downtown, and he's like, "I've talked to your coworkers, to your boss." Because they're all worried for you. He's like, your coworkers were on their way to Dallas to pick you up, but
Oh shit.
you called me and I found you and I had to talk to them, and like we're all wondering because he's like, "Who are y'all?" And they were like, "Well, who are you?" Yeah, and so it was that whole. My God, I forgot that ever even happened. And then I disappeared because I went to jail on Christmas,
oh shit.
and then I came back, and that's like whenever I was like, okay, like I need to get off of this drinking binge, and the one thing I thought would help was drugs. Was let's just smoke meth because it stopped you from being sad. Well, it worked, and that's whenever I started like kind of feel a little bit better about things.
Uh-huh.
And but then the convictions started, and it wasn't paranoia; it was convictions. It was because I knew I was doing bad, you
Yeah.
know. So then I started to get sketchy because I mean I guess it is the drugs. Like the drugs did make me sketchy, but it was just the conviction part of it. Like I knew I was fucking up, and there was no one to tell to. And then at that point, the crash is even worse because now I'm feeling like I'm a piece of shit, and I can't tell nobody because what's everyone's reaction gonna be?
Well,
Bro,
duh.
you gotta get out.
Oh. Oh, that reaction. Yeah. No, that one I feel 100% cuz again, that's kind of how I was feeling. I was like, well, I can't tell anyone. But then whenever I did, they were like, "Nah." And I was like, "But," and they're like, "Nah." But I was like, "That still doesn't help, guys."
So what changed it was I told myself like I needed to stop. Like I needed like let's just move houses, let's do something, let we need to make a change. And so I battled changing places, and then I just tried to act like nothing happened. And I had met this dude on Grinder, Flair. Well, I
Mhm.
never met him. I just was like, maybe let's just hang out with new people. And
Uh-huh.
so I asked him if he wanted to hang out. He's like, sure. Do you want to join me for my employees appreciation party? And I was like, sure, I'll go. Where's it at? He's like, oh, it's at a bar because I work at a bar. And I was like, oh, well,
Mm.
fuck. And so I told him that I was sober, and that's where I met Ryan because he introduced me to Ryan, his best friend, which me and Ryan hit it off that night. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
you remember this conversation
I
where
do. I
I
do.
was telling you like he invited me over to his
Yeah.
party, but then he introduced me to his friend, and me and his friend like hit it off.
Yeah, and y'all were playing like that push board game where other people were. And then
Yeah,
I remember
and
you going
so
like
I
he
still talk to
drinks.
Ryan. Like I hung out with Ryan. Like we were gonna talk on the phone tonight, but like I'm not gonna sit here and like wait on him.
It's fair. Um, man, hang on. I'm trying to find this chord because it may solve part of the problem that it's not really a problem. Hey, oh wait, that's micro USB. Damn. Trying to figure out how to get the phone to that microphone. Phone to the microphone. I don't think it. Ooh. Well. Wait a minute. Here. No, I don't think so. But I'll figure it out so that you and I can do this and we can record like I am so that we can go ahead and start making episodes. How about
Yeah,
that?
so this like definitely off script, and like this would be perfect to like explain how it happened, because it would be beneficial to somebody to know, just like we can understand and relate to the having to hide, but there's still a right way to do the right thing. And once I called for help, like I talked to my mentor, I talked to Kelly, and we were all like kind of made the plan of like, okay, you're right. Just wait till Tuesday to tell the guy. That way you can come in. You're not out on the streets, like, and if you feel an urge to want to go do something, call us. Well, like let's we became a team and we figured it out.
Mm-hmm. All right, Simba. I think it's about time.
Yeah.
All right. You have a good night, man.